Shangi Army.
Do you worry that your game brings bestiality? You must be a fan of rules. Need someone to hate. An ordinary boy, an ordinary name. Anime avatars and video games. Oh, woo-hoo, alone, woo-hoo, alone, woo-hoo. Alone, woo-hoo, alone, woo-hoo, alone, woo-hoo. Alone, 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 alone. I'm thinking why Well, get your man dead. Yeah. Is it in my head? Yeah. You laugh instead. Oh, worried about what I turned off the fire for. Now you're on his Discord. Kneel down your his slave. You said you kitty fool. What now will you say? An ordinary girl, an ordinary name. Anime avatars and video games. Alone. I'm thinking why well, get to that man head. Is it in my head? Should laugh instead. I'm worried about what I'm getting off the furry phone. Doesn't anybody ever know? Doesn't anybody ever know? Doesn't anybody ever know? Why? Because you're begging. Why? Because you're begging. Why? He's a begging. He's a begging. He's that's what guys are begging. He's begging. That's what guys are begging. He's begging. That's what guys are begging.
And we are live, motherfuckers, on the Mad Shangi Show, and we got a special guest today. We got the TheBagoDouche. This is the guy who took it upon himself to do a supercut of one of my live streams. I really appreciate it.
I did it for no money, of course.
And he did it for no money, no profit, no fame or fortune. But
nope.
He's here on the show, and I'm going to ask him, like, what compelled you to do the supercut?
Oh, I got to be honest. I was a little split about Rogue situation, to be honest, even though I had like a bit of beef with him for a while. It was very short lived. But I saw what he was going through a little bit. I saw the whole thing with Wendigo, and I was one of the people that was like, yeah, this sucks. I feel sorry for you, all this stuff. And I found it awkward how he returned to YouTube, conveniently around the time that Keffels and the who's the other person? Liz No Dong, I think is their name. Like one of just all the trannies and all that shit were attacking Kiwi Farms and getting it taken down. And he just suddenly comes back after telling people like he has no intentions of coming back, and he's worried about his family, which it's understandable, to be fair. But it filled me with a lot of questions, and then I guess I misclicked on one of your clips where it showed that he drove over to Acer Thorne's house to blare loud music, and Acer Thorne didn't even fucking notice, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, Britney Spears. Yeah, it was probably maybe he wasn't even home when he did this. Who knows? But he just pulled up in front of Acer Thorne and then drove off.
I don't understand what exactly Rogue's big plan was or how he thought that was going to turn out. He just showed up. He thought he would like play music, and then Acer would come outside and go, "I'm gonna sue you," like he did on his accidental live stream while half naked eating a hot dog. But no, that didn't happen. So we just drove out there from Kansas to, I don't know where Acer Thorne is. I guess Arizona. I'm pretty sure. Drove out all the way while gas prices are massively inflated right now for nothing. Just to look cool to a bunch of retards on Discord, and I guess his YouTube fame, which
because he was mad about getting sued. So what? He wants to get charges placed on him on top of that. And by the way, that's a lawsuit that Acer Thorne got thrown out anyway. So it was like all that was for nothing.
Yeah, I like that. That's a really weird thing to do. It's kind of like the same thing that I don't know if anybody else is familiar, but Apollo Legend did the same thing when he was being sued by Billy Mitchell. He decided to, and Billy Mitchell's the guy who like cheated in Pac-Man and Donkey Kong because he's a fucking loser. But he decided, Apollo decided to fly out to go fuck with Billy Mitchell, and it gave Mitchell leverage in court. And Apollo had to delete his video where he's calling out Billy. So it was a really weird. It's like the same thing could have happened to Rogue in this situation. I still can't fucking wrap my head around that. It's so stupid. But apparently he's done it to like multiple different people on Discord. From
an interesting comment right here. Such a great own when your target doesn't even notice your trolling attempt. Yeah.
24-hour ops, bro.
And like I said, like the only reason I'm not buddies with Acer Thorne. I'm not his friend. I'm not a fan of his. I don't even know him. The only reason why I commented on Acer Thorne was just to let him like, hey, some fucking guy was pulling up outside your house. But I got that guy was a fucking idiot. He is. He starts commenting, is like, "Oh, well, I'm a little confused. How come you don't call out this person, that person?" Like he lists off a bunch of fucking other people that hate him that I don't even know about. Like, dude, I don't fucking care. I was just letting you know because, Because
Shangi, be my personal army. Put yourself on the line. It's like that. It's like that moment from the South Park movie. It's like Operation Get Behind the Darkies. Protect me.
Right.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. So fucking weird.
Blast, give me more up to y'all's house if I don't get my hubby's cope and seed speech, right?
Thank you, Eva. That's just remind everybody that I apparently groomed you, at least according to the British rapist guy.
And who's the British rapist guy?
I mentioned Cammy in our DMs on Instagram, but I never mentioned Tribat that much because I'm kind of saving it. But to keep it really short, he went along with Cammy and stabbing me in the back, and he's got like fucking rape allegations, and he's calling me a groomer because one of my Discord friends they had feelings for me or something. So it's just really fucking weird. And he just
By the
takes
way,
and says I'm grooming.
how old are you?
I'm 25.
25. Okay. Before you get into the Cammy stuff that you wanted to get into, let's get into like the origins. What happened between you and Rogue? You said you had your own beef with him.
Oh yeah. For it kind of starts back around like 2020, I think. I drew like a piece of fan art for him and also somebody else, Dame Pesos. Because at the time I kind of liked him. Like he mostly just like read like the quickie. Like that was his whole content for the most part. I think that's how a lot of people found out about him, and that's how he really got his start, I guess you could say. Because I liked him, I wanted to like him, but I had this like weird suspicion because any person I know who hovers around like really popular, like low hanging fruits, like Chris Chan or Wings of Redemption, DSP, and more recently like Ethan Ralph, they all end up being no different or worse. And the people who follow them, they I guess it's this mentality where it's like, oh well, I'm terrible, but at least I'm not like this other guy or some shit. And it's so fucking weird to see that mentality.
It just makes them feel better about themselves that there's somebody who's a bigger loser than they are.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, I live under the impression that anyone can be like a lolcow and be fucked with because everybody's got a weak spot. That's just what it is to be, human or whatever. But I'm not for like I'm all for laughing at stupid shit, and I do stupid shit, and people laugh at me for it. I mean, you gotta take and receive. Like it's all or nothing, essentially. And I understand it. Like you've seen my Instagram, you know the shit I post. I'm sure you have, right?
I think I flipped through it. Yeah, I haven't seen anything too bad. Yeah. If you want to see cringy, I just want to point this out. This was just before went live here. Oh, where's the oh, that's the video clips. Oh yeah, here it is. So Cracked Rack commented on my karaoke video here. He just showed up and said, "Hey Shangy, lay off Rogue now. I talked to him and made some amends. He's done. He's really not going to do anything to any of you. It's over now. We can all live in harmony." So I guess they saw that I was going to go live with you and we were going to talk about Rogue a little bit. And I don't know. He just comments on a random video to White Knight for Rogue. And a little thing about Cracked Rack was one of the people that came on my show to expose Rogue. And, I'm just going to let everybody know Cracked Rack is somebody that I cut ties up with. I used to talk to him on Discord, but I ended up blocking him and, stopped having anything to do with him because he's a fucking weirdo, this kid. He's another one that found his courage again after Kiwi Farms went down, right? This guy used to bombard me with messages or begging me not to have Wendy Diego on my show because she was going to come on my show and then flaked out, right? But like he was like begging me. He was like, no, like those guys on Kiwi Farms, they're going to target you and blah, 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 right? And I was like, dude, I'm not the one that's afraid of these fucking people. Right?
I mean, for the most part, like Kiwi Farms gets like a really bad rep. I can kind of understand with the whole doxing thing, but the thing is with doxing, and you can also apply this to like the leaked call where Rogue doxed one of his mods or whatever by reading his phone number, and Rogue's like, yo, having your number isn't a big deal. Like it just means you have a phone. Like you could easily just pull it out and say, well, it doesn't really do anything to you. It's just this is where you live. Like that's it.
Right.
But the problem, like the issue is that whenever you have a dox out, it's the insane people who would take the time and the initiative to do shit. Like that's when the line gets fucking drawn for most people. I'm pretty sure. And I've heard people like Null specifically because I watch his Mad at the Internet show every so often. He's openly said that he hates swatting, and he's been swatted like multiple times. So, he hates it. The only time I know that he's ever thought like a swatting was kind of funny was Patrick Tomlinson. And that's just because Patrick Thompson is just one of the biggest fucking assholes you'll ever see. He's like, if you hear like the clips from his show where he talks about Fatrick, because that's what they call him.
Mhm.
You don't.
That's my name,
It.
Patrick. Yeah.
That was my brother's name at one point.
Wow, small world. It's just a world of fat tricks.
Yeah. But yeah, if you hear it or you watch the audio of it, or any clips involving like Patrick Tomlinson, he's so fucking unlikable and condescending. Like I'm not saying the swatting is good, but he's such a prick that you can't feel sorry for him, essentially.
Well, the thing I notice about Rogue is he gets on his moral high horse, and it says he's against this and this and this and this, but he engages in it. He is a doxer. He does fucking weaponize children and then send them after anybody who challenges him. And as it turned out, for all his posturing, as soon as he got doxed, he fucking rage quit like a pussy.
Yeah, that's a common thing I noticed.
And then after saying he was never going to come back from YouTube, but when the heat dies down, then he announces he's going to make a return. And then we have Crack Rack coming back and saying, "No, leave him alone. We're friends now." And here's another creepy thing about Crack Rack. Right after I cut ties off with him, for some reason, he posted this on his community wall. He says, "You get to take out one of these fine gentlemen on a date." And I find it ironic that I'm in the lead on this poll here. But anyways, you get to take one of these fine gentlemen on a date. Which one is it going to be? And then he puts my picture on there, right? And I guess the three other pictures are of him.
I guess
Jack Rack, Slender Rack, and Creepy Rack. I don't know if he did this for an ego boost or something, but yeah, I just found that really, really creepy after I blocked the guy, and then he puts me on his poll. Like, who's more attractive, Shangy or me?
He's like that ex-girlfriend that's kind of. She's like, "Oh, I'm glad I broke up with you. I'm glad we're through." But secretly, there's still moist down there for you. They're like, "Why'd you leave me?"
Yeah, well, like I said, the reason why I blocked him was this dude would send me messages at 4 a.m. and just like he'll send me like 20 or 30 messages in a row, just rambling on about the stupidest shit ever heard, right? And it's like, I know this is like a new snowflake generation where like 20 is the new 14. But like Jesus Christ, when you're 20 something years old, you're a fucking adult, and this little fucking kid shit that this guy is all about, I just wasn't having it. I got to the point where he started DMing me about some shit that he was fucking doing, the stupid shit, like he was trying to cause a bunch of shit. And mind you, this was the guy that was so paranoid about Kiwi Farms going after him and being branded as a lolcow and being trolled and stuff. But then as soon as Kiwi Farms goes down, he starts fucking with people, and he started telling me that he fucked some guy's wife, and then he started like trolling the guy, the guy's husband or whatever. And I'm like, why are you doing this? And he basically said that he's doing this to be popular on YouTube, and then I blocked him.
Yeah, that's the winning strategy. You gotta cuck somebody.
Like, dude, I'm almost 40 years old. Okay, I know I look young, but I'm almost 40 years old. I'm not having that shit.
Yeah, that's fucking lame.
I'm too old for this shit.
I'm 20. I'm 25, and that's fucking old for me too.
Yeah, well, you should hope so, right? There was a time where, like 20 people like it's like extended adolescence. People think like 25 is the new 15, and it's like, no. There was a time when you were expected to be married and have children by the time you're 16, right? When people didn't live as long as they do now.
Oh, so, yeah.
Like I said, there's something wrong with this fucking Zoomer generation where they're just in that high school mentality well beyond their college years. It's fucking stupid. You got to grow up, kids.
I agree. I agree. Like, I'm close. I'm in the Zoomer age myself, and I fucking hate people that are mostly my age or younger because you can't joke with them because they all get super fucking offended at the slightest, like, provocation. Like they can dish it out, but they sure as hell can't take it, and I can't fucking stand that.
Oh, this is a weird time to be alive right now. We got people, grown men and women, talking about microaggressions and right, we're canceling everybody for hurting people's fifis all the time. It's just nuts.
Oh
Right?
yeah.
I feel like the whole world is turning into communist China right now. Like the censorship is out of control, propaganda is out of control, and
Yeah. You're not allowed. You're not allowed to be a free thinking person. You gotta take up in line. Take your retard juice. Don't question the government. Don't question anybody. Just get excited for the new Star Wars movie they're dropping. Just all that shit.
who is canceled for farting on the microphone?
I don't know. I guess it's me.
Oh,
I suppose. Yeah, because
dude.
it's an in joke that I stick my blue Yeti in my ass or something. I think I made that joke in a Discord call, and it's stuck around ever since.
Yeah.
It's fucking stupid and funny. But I love to see someone take this as like serious exposure and be like, "Oh my god, this bad guy actually has sex with his microphone" or some shit. That's how fucking desperate people can be
Right.
to get like exposure material. It's fucking weird. But yeah, you were mentioning about how the why Rogue came back, because a lot of people came back after Kiwi Farms goes down. I know it's like Dame Pesos. He was like missing for almost 2 years ever since Trump lost, I guess, because he totally lost Susan. Please don't fuck over Shangi for me mentioning that. He lost totally fair and square, wink.
Right.
But-
Yeah. Yeah. Got to be careful about that. I got flagged for saying something about the election. Right.
Yeah, and if you say nowadays PayPal will take like $2,000-$3,000 out of your account and say "fuck you," this is what you get.
Oh no. They backpedaled PayPal and said, "Oh, that was a mistake. We didn't mean that."
Actually, they're pushing it forward. I saw that on Twitter. They're keeping it up. They doubled down on it. They backpedaled and then they put it back in. Yeah, I think I've heard it. They put it back in. So there's more of a reason to get rid of your PayPals now.
Yeah, don't worry. I will be like they can't do that. They can't take people's money, hard-earned money, for say things they don't like.
Yeah,
I saw it. I saw a real. If you check out a YouTube channel called Moon, he does these really great videos about the internet culture, and and why he thinks Elon Musk is bad, why he thinks Mark Zuckerberg is bad, and why like Twitter is a corrupt company and Discord is evil and Microsoft. It's just really interesting stuff. And last night he posted a video about it saying that YouTube won't be around in 5 years, PayPal won't be around in 5 years, and I kind of believe that. There's PayPal didn't have competitors before. Well, now there's Venmo, now there's Google Pay, now there's alternatives to PayPal.
Yeah. But one thing about YouTube going down, I don't really see that as being a big possibility, especially since Google owns YouTube. And for competitors like Parler and BitChute, YouTube will make sure that you rarely ever find any results for those websites unless you search them up directly. So they're essentially sabotaging like other competitors essentially because they support like neo-Nazi ideas, like all the shit we've heard for like the last few years, all this other stuff. It's so fucking weird to hear. But yeah, tech censorship is like a really big thing right now, and it has been for many, many years, and it's getting worse and worse. I do hope that like nobody stays on top forever, but I'm really hoping for like a revolution where these businesses can either be reworked or run into the fucking ground. Because it's weird seeing, because I don't want to just say that YouTube itself has been completely corrupt and it's just all 100% Susan's fault. Like Filthy Frank was blowing up around like 2015, and Susan Wojcicki, whatever fucking stupid ass name is, was CEO. So I think I think there's like a bigger issue that's going on, and it's just people being either useful idiots or the government or something else just taking control. I don't know exactly what it is.
All right. So, you wanted to talk about this Cammy person, and this is a person that you called her a rogue guard. What's going on with that?
Oh, yeah. But before I could exactly get to the Cammy stuff, because I know most people want to hear about Rogue, I'll get the Rogue stuff out of the way first. So,
Okay.
like I was saying earlier, I kind of liked Rogue, but I had this like sneaking suspicion that he would implode. Because if I've noticed, I mentioned this in my stream that Rogue stream sniped or whatever,
Mhm.
that a lot of these people who hover around like the popular lolcows, especially Chris, all implode. They all just do stupid shit, and they're not much better.
Mhm.
And I started paying attention to it. I watched his reading videos where he read off the quickie. I never really watched his streams or whatever, but around I think February or January, I joined his server for the first time. This is the first time I've ever joined like a big YouTuber's Discord server. It's a little off-putting, a little bit, because there's like I'm used to like Discord servers having like maybe 100 people tops, and then this guy's got like 4 or 5,000 people all at once. And
Mhm.
I joined, and it's a little overwhelming. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little awkward. I do the age verification thing with Asterix, the diaper goat, I guess. Just on a side note, because I'm probably gonna forget about her. Shiny mentioned that she liked to wear a diaper. Do you think she's a crinkler?
What's a crinkler? I'm not familiar with that term.
The term crinkler is someone is like a fur who wears a diaper who shits in it and
Oh,
actually walks around wearing it. How much do you want to bet?
maybe. It just seems to me that these people who like the whole content that Rogue did about Chris Chan. It's like he's trying to make it seem like that he's just is doing it to mock him, but it's like, dude, you're a fan. Like you're not just making fun of it. You're like right into it. You're right into that Sonic Chew shit. You're into the whole like his content is just reading that stupid Chris Chan wiki,
Mhm.
and it's like no, I think this guy is like really into this shit. Like he's
Yeah.
getting really nerdy about it. It's that he's trying to act like he's too cool for school. Like, oh, this guy's a local. Haha, isn't he funny?
Oh
But
yeah.
really think about it. Yeah, Chris Chan is such low hanging root. Low hanging fruit. But he's also pitiable in a way because he is mentally ill. He's not aware of how crazy he is. He can't help being mentally ill,
I'm
right?
a bit
He needs
mixed.
help.
I'm a
I'm
little
not,
bit
I'm not defending him, but I'm like, you know what? Like the guy is fucked in the head, but these people, they're no better. They're not mentally challenged or mentally retarded or mentally ill. So what's their excuse for being even cringier than him in a lot of cases? And
because they're not they don't have like big people following them, I guess. They're like underground and they can kind of get away with it. I
like,
guess that's why they don't have like thousands of people like trying to fucking get you to stick a medallion up your ass, all that shit. Because
but
I followed a lot of Chris lore. That was something that I followed for quite a while. Because I used to watch people like I don't know if you know this guy, Blackbuster Critic. I don't know if you've heard of him.
no.
He was like an older YouTuber. He was one of the people who really started the whole talking about like cringy fans, because he made like the Sonic Brain Fart series. It's been archived on YouTube because he left like a long time ago. He's not active anymore. And he talked about a lot of different people who were involved with the weird Sonichu, not the Sonichu, but like the Sonic fandom. Like he was one of the people really pushed out making fun of like cringy fans. And he covered Chris Chan, and I'd known about Chris for quite a while because I used to follow the shit he does. I'm not knocking people who follow the lore a little bit and like to like check up every now and again, like what's Chris up to, and maybe laugh about it and go on with their day. Like
Mhm.
people do that all the time. It's not that big of a deal. But my issue is just the people who really like hone in and never shut up about Chris, or
Mhm.
just really want to get involved in like Chris lore by fucking with him, because yeah, he does have mental problems. I'm a bit split
Mhm.
about uh if he's like truly malicious, or if he's, because there's a lot of debate like Chris knows what he's doing is bad, but he still just does it anyway because I guess he can get away with it. You know, it's all really weird. It's all really weird to see, but yeah, a lot of people follow Chris lore. A lot of people do that stuff, and I don't.
And I've been in Rogue server briefly. You've been in his server briefly.
Yeah,
it's full of people that normal people would laugh at, right? They're fucking furries and weird degenerates and into.
Oh yeah.
Well, like I said, he had children in that server, and they're posting like the weirdest fucking scat porn and cat porn and furry porn and trans shit in there.
Yeah, and cow titties. Yeah. I saw that one too.
And from what I've seen, like Rogue is just as big of a degenerate as Chris Chan is. He's into some weird shit, and Shiny exposed that he does weird shit. He he has like females and possibly underage females jerking off for him, and then he keeps these pictures so that he can blackmail them later if he feels like it. It's just a weird, disgusting piece of shit. He's like. He's got a little dick and he's jerking off for these women that he has the nerve to turn around and mock and say, "Oh, they're pathetic. They're jerking off for me." But it's like,
I would feel embarrassed if I was flicking my own bean and shit to some guy who had a dick that was smaller than a AAA battery. If I'm being honest, I'd be embarrassed. Imagine that.
I would be
so
too.
Fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, but it's like, it's like you want to make a platform on laughing at the retard, and then it's like, well, they're all retards too. So it's like, what the fuck? They're not mocking. They're fans, right? They're into that shit. They're into that furry shit. They're into the same shit that Chris Chan's into. So what are they laughing at? They're no better. In fact,
it's
a lot
projection.
Of them are worse. And my main concern is all the shit I heard about CP being posted in that server, and we heard what was it, Lalupi that said that the guy was collecting porn from this guy's girl. What was it, Mr. Repsion's girlfriend?
Oh yeah, I saw that part.
And she was like underage at the time that she made these videos or pictures or whatever, and then he kept them for the purpose of. To I guess blackmail or humiliate Mr. Repsion when he feels like, and then try to get somebody else like Lalupi involved in it.
Oh yeah, you gotta double team on them. That's how we got to do it. You can't do it solo. You got to do it as a group.
Yeah, and it's like, and I made this statement on an earlier stream. It's like, I don't know if Rogue Internet Man is a pedophile. I don't think he's a pedophile, but I think he's just so amoral that he would knowingly hold on to CP just to fuck with somebody. And it's like, that's pretty fucked up.
I mean, I also have to point this out here because it goes along with like his dick being posted. I have this thing that needs to be said, and I think we need to start going back to it. How about not send your fucking dick to people so that way people don't have it? That's a genius strategy. I mean, they have PSAs for it, like, they had like PSAs for it like all the time. Like, whenever I was growing up, now no one says anymore. Like, don't send your fucking genitals to people. Don't do it. So,
I tell you, I've been around the block, dude, and I've messed around with women online. They send me things, I send them things, and it didn't bite me in the ass until like 2019.
It's unfortunate, but for me, I'm not going to be part of that group, and I hope people who are around me don't do it either. So it just saves you. It saves it from someone trying to blackmail you, like, oh yeah, if you don't give me $1,000, I'm gonna show this picture of your testicles to people, and you're gonna be sorry, or whatever. Like, do revenge porn of you, like,
Yeah, it literally looks like a cat's nipple.
Yeah, it's his crotch nipple. It's just inflamed. It got infected.
Yeah. Well, Rogue at one time when he was going at me on Twitter was like, "Hey, how come when I Google Mad Shangi, I find videos of you jerking off?" And now that's funny that now that his picture came out and shit, and it was like, "Oh, are you trying to scare me, dude?" Right? Now we know how much bigger my dick is than yours. You fool!
Yeah.
You think you're gonna humiliate me? Jesus! What a fucking
Yeah.
wuss, right? He makes all these threats. He gets all his kiddies to fucking attack people, and then he really showed his ass. Uh,
He did show his ass. He showed his dick, but there wasn't
yeah,
much to show off in the first place. So not exactly something you'd want to flaunder.
he
Flaunt.
showed his yellow, that's for sure. Right? He showed how much of a pussy he is
Yeah.
when the tables get turned on him. Hey, what's up, Duff man?
Yeah. The rubber hits the road, and then all of a sudden, everybody fucking hightails it out. It's weird to see. It's really weird to see. But anyway, getting back to it, what I was saying that I joined a server. It was a little weird. I got verified through Asterisk. I sent. I did the smart thing. I censored off like most of everything on my driver's license when I sent it to them, because they have the same age verification thing I do on like my server. The only difference is I'm not keeping fucking people's like personal info to use later. I'm not going to do that because that's fucked up. Like
That's
you're
funny.
taking.
I joined a server and they didn't ask for my ID. Not that I would give it to these fucking idiots. If they asked me for my ID to join a fucking Discord server, I'd say, fuck you.
Yeah, like
How about don't have kids in your server? How about
that's
that?
true. I think like I'm not against the age verification thing, even though there are plenty of loopholes for it. But I think the effort of actually trying to make sure that the people on your server are adults before they start seeing like titties and shit, I think that's a really decent thing to have to show that you're putting effort. Yes, there are workarounds for it where people can sidestep it by using a fake ID or using like a parents or a brothers or sisters, and nobody would ever find out because you don't have any what's the word for it? You don't have a history. Like you're just completely anon almost. So you can essentially bypass it. Like that's the one fatal flaw with the system. But for him and his server, like they keep the docs, they keep the information and save it. From what Shiny said, they keep it all in a chat, all their docs. So whenever they got verified, it's like here's their docs information, and the only information I gave him was like the month and year of my birth and my first name. And this stuff is like on my docs bin. So, it's not that big of a deal.
Well, did you actually find yourself on a docs bin where that information was posted online?
Well, that's actually part of a different story. I fucked with this dude, and then he sent somebody to try to dox me. And he didn't send his most competent. The only reason why he got my first name and my month and year of birth is because when I started doing the age verification thing, I actually had my real ID up, but I censored it. And I told people to do this because I don't want to know where people fucking live. I don't want to know like all that shit. I want to have it censored. I just want to make sure people, before they get to see like the weird shit I draw or titties that other weird people on my server also do, that, they're allowed to be with us. Again, it's not perfect, but still. And I told them to censor it. All I really care about is like the first name and the month and year of birth. I don't care about the day. Everything else needs to be censored. Some people send them completely uncensored, and it's off-putting, but I always make sure I never save their details. I promise I've never saved anybody's details because that's fucking...
I think you should never give these people your ID because how do you know these people aren't using your ID to commit identity theft or fraud?
Exactly. And because I make plenty of enemies and some retarded raccoon who's apparently homeless decides to somebody to super hack me, they're going to take my Discord. And if they leave their IDs in my fucking in my DMs, they get doxxed too. So, and I always tell them like to delete it afterwards. I do not want that shit there. I don't want them, because even with the people like Cammy and Tribat and other people that I haven't mentioned, like SA72, they send their like full IDs to me, because I remember this. I never posted it online or anything because I never saved it. and I'm not going to take it to like a personal level. I'm just messing with them online because of stupid shit they did. So I mean, taking it from internet shit to real life is, I think that's a fucking line.
And it's gotten worse. I remember in the early days of YouTube, there used to be a whole ponage culture, and that was fine. You make a video, somebody responds, and then you pwn them, and they pwn you back, and it just stays on the internet that way. But then, especially with these feminists, particularly people on the left, there's a bunch of fucking snowflakes that can't take any criticism, and their go-to is, I'm going to dox you, I'm going to dox you, I'm going to dox you, I'm going to dox your family, I'm going to no, Propane Key is not still in hiding. I don't think he ever went into hiding.
He was still active on Twitter.
It was
I
Rogue
think.
and Asterisk that went into hiding.
Yeah, Rogue, Asterisk, and Liz also did as well. Because I know Liz has a YouTube channel, and I think they're deleting it at the end of this or next month or something. I just found out recently, and I find that really fucking funny.
I find that interesting because it's not just Rogue goes. They do. That just tells me that they were into some pretty deep shit there.
I mean,
they must have been doing something that they feel that they gotta fucking hide shit now.
Yeah, they have to stick. Like in my mind, whenever I'm looking at all this shit between him and his friends, like if they don't, they have to stand with Rogue, or they all get fucked over by the people who exposed them or Rogue himself, because Rogue always has a backup to fuck them over. So they essentially have to, which is really fucked up. But then again, and it's funny. Like, I think I mentioned this on one of my streams, the last one I did, about like some of the moderators, how a lot of them are speaking out. My feelings on most of the moderators actually lukewarm at best on my part, to be honest, and I'll explain why. With Rogue, some of these moderators, not all of them, but a decent portion of them will hang around Rogue. They'll watch him dox people and fuck with people, and get his server to call up their place or whatever the fuck, like he did with that Chuck E. Cheese,
Yeah,
like that.
Because they thought it was Coach Eli's phone number.
Yeah, and they'll do shit like that. But when the rubber hits the road and Rogue inevitably gets mad at them, then they're on the chopping block, and then they're scared for their shit. So it's very cowardly in my eyes.
Yeah, it is hypocritical.
Because, I mean, they go along with it, they watch it, they think it's funny, but as soon as it's them, oh shit, now what do I do? It's ridiculous.
The Mad Shangi Show, right?
Yeah. I thought the only thing that's saving them is because Rogue doesn't know about them or he likes them. Well, what's going to happen whenever he stops liking you? Exactly. It ends poorly for you.
Yeah.
It's sad to see.
It's just what gets done in the dark eventually gets brought to light, isn't it? Like we found out all like I wasn't even we weren't digging into this shit. We weren't like doing some weird PI shit. This is just all stuff that I found out about just by digging through Kiwi Farms and finding out what was going on. They were posting like these secretly recorded phone calls where they're piling on this guy, and Rogue is saying, I like to fuck with people, but you don't fuck with someone's heart. Like, what the fuck? This is the Dr. Phil over here. Jesus Christ.
He has a doctorate. That would imply he actually has a future or something. He doesn't. That's why he's back on YouTube. It's funny. He either has to come back to... This is why I believe this is one of the reasons why he really did come back. He can't afford to pay for the apartment. The only reason why he was able to afford the apartment was because of his YouTube gold he was getting from talking about Chris Chan and talking about people who didn't like him. So, and getting all those super berries from his fans. That's the only reason why him and Mel, implying she's even still with them, were able to get an apartment. I don't know if Mel works. I kind of doubt it.
Are you saying he's back because his cash flow got fucked with?
Yeah, his cash flow got raped in the ass because he's fucking.
Don't fuck with my cash flow.
Yeah, he has to come back. He has to come back to YouTube to make money, because either that or he has to go back to the shed, the cuck shed. That's where he has to go. And I don't know if Mel's still with him. I kind of doubt it, like I said. But I don't think it's very romantic for her to get porked out in a fucking shed with crappy electrical work that'll probably catch fire and kill you both. There's no installation or running water, and it's fucking winter. It's gonna be winter very soon. I don't find that very romantic to get my pussy fucking slammed by someone with a dick that's smaller than a AAA battery. So, you know.
Arnie Zanzibar says, has Asterix stopped spending her tax return on sex toys to impress Rogue?
Probably not. I don't know.
That is that is fucking sad. But like I said, these are the people that are dogpiling on autists, and you know, feeling cool about themselves, basically bullying retarded people. And like, look at them. Look at Asterix. She's gross.
She's grody.
You're gonna mock somebody while you're fucking wearing a furry suit and a diaper? Like, Jesus Christ!
It's probably full of shit too. I mean, we know that. You know, most of Rogue and his friends and fans are full of shit. So the diaper's just the icing on the cake, I guess. This really shitty flavored cake. But yeah, it's not just like Rogue's friends themselves that are all fucking weird. It also extends to his fans as well, obviously, because whenever they were coming down on me, I'd click on their profiles and see like, okay, who is this guy who's talking shit? It's furries and retards, or people who have like nothing on their profiles. They're blank. They're useless. They're just viewers. They could die tomorrow and nothing would matter. No one would notice. So those are the people who dogpile, and they all do it as a group. But whenever you go after them individually, they either don't respond or they break down and block you. And I find that really fucking hilarious. Because one of them was like this like fucking 19-year-old. I think they were a tranny. I'm pretty sure they would be in that whole thing. They were. They drew this picture of their cow tits, I guess, to own me or something, or to ratio. And I go to their Twitter account. It's like failed ratios and just almost MS Paint doodles or whatever. And they were like dogpiling on me. And I swooped in like memory lane and I retweeted something saying, yeah, because they were like, they're doing the whole thing. It's like, oh, thanks for the views. Thanks for the attention. And their account goes nowhere. So I just say, hey, go. It's funny. This is your plan. Go nowhere because your art shit. And they never responded to me. So I find that that's just an example of the people who do dogpiling. For instance, they're not as strong as they think they are. Definitely not. Oh, it looks like somebody's sending you super berries.
There's an in joke going because Ross gives Susan says keeps telling her that she owes me $8. So I guess now she's gonna finally give me that $8. Wow,
damn!
I appreciate it. I appreciate all the donations, people.
Got to collect those super berries for winter.
That's right. And Ernie Zanzibar says, whatever happened to Pink Parasite? I remember liking salivating over her. Like, well, last I heard, she was done with Rogue, like well before this all got exposed. That he raided her server over some shit. I don't remember the full story.
I don't know anything about Lycan or any of that shit. So I can't swing in either way. Sorry.
Well, Pink Parasite was a rogue person who started going over to Lycans.
Started swinging, started dating with the rival, I guess. Caused some jealousy, huh?
I don't know. I always figured that she was there to spy on Lycan for Rogue.
Probably. Got to be in those gay ops, I guess.
You're sending me more than $8, so I'm getting titty pics too. Then, right?
Oh damn!
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that won't blow up in your face. You don't want to. What did I just say a few minutes ago? Don't send your genital pics.
Yeah, what
And
did
they do it
Bag
anyway.
just say? What did he just say? Aren't you people paying attention?
No, nobody fucking listens to me.
Right?
What do you know? You draw weird shit. We shouldn't listen to you. What do you know?
Yeah, what do you know? You draw weirder shit than we got.
Oh, oh no. I'm being bullied on a stream I'm guest starring on. God damn it. I can't be bullied anywhere. I could be fucking bullied. Hey, it could be worse. I could live out in a shed.
Well, there's just some people that you cannot shame, right? Because the people that, so what? I shit my pants. So what? People love me, right?
It's weird seeing people do that, but I can actually respect it if they can take the blows, because I think that's what really matters. If you can dish it out like all day, but if you can't take even the slightest provocation, then it's
and it just shouldn't be on YouTube, right? Or you shouldn't be.
Shouldn't be. I mean, fuck. My Discord server, people fucking make fun of me for shit. I make fun of them for shit, and then we laugh. Because I mean, they're jokes. It's bants. It's not personal. So it's weird seeing people who just talk shit and then they can't handle it. It's always fun to see.
Right, and that's what Rogue was. He was just a big schoolyard bully, and then he got punched back, and he couldn't handle it.
Yeah, he had to.
The classic story of David and Goliath.
Yeah, because he is. Yeah, I don't know how tall he is, but he definitely is big. But yeah, he's more wide. So so he pushes the kid down, and the next thing you know, he's run away because he's got to pick up all his teeth from the asphalt. So what a fate to have.
Yeah, it's just goes to show, just don't be a bully, people. Just don't go around picking on people, because people start fighting back, and Rogue just turned out to be a total coward.
Yep.
Right. Like, listen. I've been doxxed like 100,000 times, right? Everybody knows where I live. Everybody knows who I am, what city I live in, right? My street address, my house address. I didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
you can try to run. You can try to move in. You could try to do what Ralph did, or move to Mexico and think that's gonna save you. Be the next Drakenlore or whatever. But people will find out. So I mean, you might as well not even,
Eva
Bag.
Flutter Lover says, "Bag, you better give me your super picture for you, LOL, excluding the emojis and stickers."
No, thank you, Eva. Oh yeah,
Well,
that's
giving
my
you more than emojis.
Oh yeah, she does like stickers for my Discord, and we talk a lot. She's a really good friend, but apparently I groomed her to be my e-wife. So
Says, did you catch Propane Full's cringe tribute to Rogue prelude that should have been an epilogue? The clown never watched a Quinn Martin production. Yeah, I don't know if I still have that.
Watch him take a bow.
Yeah,
loud ass EDM music.
I don't know if I definitely still don't have that. I don't have that clip loaded to StreamYard anymore.
You should have the clip I did from the supercut and just have that instead, because that's better.
Yeah, it is. I'll have to clip that out of it sometime. I probably got that file saved somewhere. Oh, actually, you know what? I should check.
Yeah.
I'll check this folder.
I got to be honest. I was actually surprised whenever you streamed the first supercut that I sent you, because I wasn't actually finished with it, and then you streamed it because I went through with it. I went through with the thing in Premiere when I was doing my cut, and I was like, oh shit, there's that part where I think it was Rex was talking about the whole asking the question, Rogue Internet Man was a pedophile. And I cut him at the part where it sounds like he's just saying it outright. So I fucked him over. Sorry, Rex.
Yeah,
Rex got wrecked. You're
he
welcome.
was
It's
trying to
part of
me
my
about that
sneak
just
in, man.
yesterday. No, he wasn't. I'm just kidding. Nobody cares. We appreciate the supercut though. That
Oh, you're welcome. Again,
I
I
mean,
made
yeah,
no money off it. It's nothing about allegiance. I did it because this guy is doing some really shady shit, and I really don't think he should get away with it. And I'm also gonna have to say I'm not wanting to fuck his life up, whatever he has. I don't really know, but I don't want
for anybody that just wants to see the most relevant parts of that stream without sitting through the whole 4 hours, I suggest going to the supercut.
Yeah, or you could always just find my version of the cut because oh my god, I have to be honest, I had a hard time clipping out all the stuff that I wanted to keep for my cut. Like I wanted to try to get the dick pic part in, but it was too long. And I was like, nah. That's probably like one of the funnier moments in the whole cut. But I had to stick to the most important stuff, and so much stuff had to be cut. So, and I still managed to get it down to about on its own, I think about 40 or 45 minutes, just about. But I also haven't gotten the audio recording of my intro for it done because it's actually quite long. But I want to clip it down because I talk a little bit about shortened about like why I did it.
We do have a special clip here. Remember this? He paid for a video for a second on a dildo. That's right.
He's been a virgin and up until the last year or two.
No, that's not true.
Dead ass. I'm being so true. Swear to God. Swear to God.
He's like, you guys are dogpiling.
Isn't he like 41, 42?
Swear to God. If you go back to that first DM of mine you showed, he said that he would pay to fuck, and like later in those DMs, he's like, "Yeah, I'm a virgin. It'd be nice to lose that."
Yeah, it'd be nice to just lose that, whatever.
I would like.
I mean, if you like me,
one day.
if you want to check the box, yes. I mean, if you don't, it's okay. I'm an idiot. I'm sorry.
But
pay to fuck. Remember his little digs at people when he says in videos, he's like, "Yeah, people that don't feel the underside of pussy." That always sounded like fucking projection to me, and now we got confirmation that
oh yeah,
this whole time when he's talking that shit, he's never felt the underside of pussy. Why do you have to send a child army to fucking confront
Why
somebody?
are you upset about a child army?
Give me a break. I don't want to be in that situation where I have to go as far as to pay $100 for a damn hooker.
That's literally something Chris would do. Pay for sex. I gotta be honest. Before we came onto the show, I was kind of hoping I'd see like Shiny and some of the other ones showing up, especially Shiny, because I want to say hey, "fuck you" to her, because I asked her about the MP4 that she said during your talk, because Shiny's got other receipts and some of the other stuff that's there, but I asked her about it on Twitter, like. About this whole this clip, and she basically told me to go fuck myself. So that's nice.
Oh wow.
I just want to make sure, like, my whole thing, the reason why I asked her about it was because I just want to make sure like she's not lying. Like she's got this MP4 of him deleting files or whatever. But she's not really willing to share it in any capacity. So it's just it's a little shady. I'm not like trying to like discredit her, Hello, Ian. I see.
Hello, douche.
Yeah. Yeah, what's up? It's your boy. It's the Supercut Faggot. That should have been my name for the stream, Supercut Fag.
The Supercut Fag.
Yeah.
Right, right, and then I'll get flagged for misinformation and harassment and hurting people's feelings. Can't say the F word on YouTube.
Yeah, you can't say that word. You can't say the gamer word. You can't say anything on YouTube without being
that always annoyed the fuck out of me. Whenever you said no gamer words, I'm like, what the fuck is no gamer words? I guess I don't know. I'm an old man and right. I'm not down with the youngsters these days and their lingo. I'm like, gamer words. I'd be embarrassed as a 30-something-year-old man. Well, at the time, he was portraying himself as a 30-something-year-old when he was really actually 20-something-year-old.
He's like 23 or 24.
Like you're hanging around with kids and you're saying no gamer words and you want to talk shit, like fuck off.
Hey, it beats what Cammy did when she decided to be in a Discord chat with like 15-year-old kids who she tried to get to go against me because she was doing that shit.
Mhm.
And she started telling these kids for no fucking reason about Mr. Hands, because obviously 15-year-olds need to know about a guy getting fucked in the ass and dying by a horse. That's what they need to teach in school, especially like middle school, I'd say.
Ian, since you were late, I showed a screenshot earlier. I want to get your opinion on this. Cracked Rack. This was posted today. He says, "Hey Shangy, lay off Rogue now. I talked to him and made some amends. He's done. He's really not going to do anything to any of you. Not that I was worried. Says it's over now. We all can live in harmony, right? What the fuck?
You know, it's kind of weird seeing like all this talk, because I get it. Maybe some people really don't know how deep the drama really goes. But I like seeing like the fucking guy who recently made his video, Hogan, Snake Hogan, I think. It's really weird seeing people comment. I guess it's like Rogue fans are like on this weird like cope fest where it's like, oh, it's old drama you shouldn't be covering anymore. It's like, dude, this guy made a career off of covering other people's older drama and having his like
Going
fans
back 10
attack
years.
people in docs. Yeah, it's either all or nothing.
Says Cracked Rack has Stockholm syndrome. There's some kind of syndrome.
Yeah.
Something's off with that boy. That boy ain't right. Says, oh yes, I'm a 26-year-old CWC reader. Tell a bunch of minors about Mr. Hands. That totally won't go wrong and make it worse on me. Yeah.
Yeah, see, Eva gets it because she knows a lot about Cammy
Just
lore.
having a Discord and knowing there's kids in there and having a nut cavern, like what the fuck was this guy thinking?
Yeah, that's one thing I really hate about servers. If you're gonna have porn, any kind of porn on your server, NSFW, you should never have any kids on it. Even if you lock them away from it and you don't know exactly how old they are, it just helps lessen the chances of shit happening, you know?
Yeah, I have a Discord server and I'm not gonna let just anybody into my server. It's gonna be just people I know. And it's not gonna be public. I'm not gonna allow a bunch of kids in my server at all. And you like usually you can tell if somebody's a minor just by what they talk about and the shit they say. If it sounds really immature and sounds like something a fucking kid is saying, chances are it is a kid and shouldn't be in your server. Or if they jump on your voice chat and it sounds like their balls haven't dropped yet.
Yeah, they got that squeaky voice straight out of Xbox Live, like way back in the day. Yeah, I don't know, but I'm on a Discord server, and some of the people on my server, they're immature, but they're also past 20 or 30, but they're actually pretty nice people. Because I mean, that's something that I've noticed with like people with autism, like it's kind of a thing. But generally speaking, as a rule of thumb, if someone starts like doing that weird shit, it's like, yeah.
The Ian Ellis LLC says, I heard Rogue is teaming up with Jimmernam to start a new Minecraft server.
Oh, that's how they're gonna recruit an army. That's the second phase of the Rogue.
I don't know if you heard about this Jimmernam guy. I barely know about him, but like I've seen RDA post these old videos about Jimmernam. And I could see why they were comparing Rogue to this guy. So Jimmernam was this guy who had this podcast, whatever, and he too had a Discord server full of children, and then he was talking to them about taboo subjects and sex, and it was totally inappropriate, and he got called out for it till at some point he left the internet.
Oh, that's nice.
I was watching the stream the other day. It's like, dude, you got a fucking 12-year-old on a call with you, and he actually brought this 12-year-old up to defend him and told people. And this guy was like 40.
Oh, that's lovely.
The guy was like 40 something. It was like, what a weirdo. And That's exactly what Rogue is.
Yeah, except he likes to portray himself as being close to 30, but he's younger than me.
Mm-hmm. Says what makes this even more worse. The owner of the server was a minor when that telling kids about Mr. Hands happened.
Yeah, that was something that Cammy did. That's nice. I know I haven't gotten to the Cammy stuff. We still like sidetracking because it's fun to talk about other shit too.
Yeah,
but we'll have to get back
to the Mad Shangi Show. We tried to stay on topic, but we go off the rails somehow. No fault of our own.
Yeah, I mean, it's a free talk. So I mean, it's not like a structured thing. Like it's just a let's show up and talk thing. It's free range, and it's more fun and more fluid. I like it. It's a lot better.
Rogue was really a gay man trapped inside Propane Key's body.
Probably. That's what maybe Mel just is a cover up, and that it's really about Rogue and Propanky getting it on. Maybe that's what it is. Some hot, steamy, all dick energy loving in the shed.
He did say he finds Lycan theory attractive, so there's that.
Yeah.
Right. So and then of course there's all the gay shit he has in his server.
Oh yeah.
Right.
And the children there too, so that's nice.
I don't know. In other people's servers, I don't see gay porn being posted in there, so I don't know. But there's gay porn in Rogue server, so I don't know. Would a straight man allow gay porn in a server?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's like a bisexual thing. Maybe he's bi. That's possible.
Well, like I said, there's nothing wrong with being gay or bisexual. In fact, we'd have more respect for you if you were honest about it and not hiding.
Oh yeah.
But
you got to be. But remember, being straight is the new evil. You have to be, and being bi is evil too. If you know anything about LGBT, the HIV positive community, being straight and being bi are the worst. You're not allowed to be them. You have to be pansexual, which is just being bi with extra steps. You have to be a tranny, or you have to be like queer or non-identifying, which is really fucking weird to see. So I know because I'm bi. So
are you actually bi?
Yeah, I'll fuck guys and girls.
This isn't just a joke. You're being serious.
No, I'm not joking. I'm being serious.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, getting back, I was on because we keep getting thrown off. I know because everyone wants to hear about the Rogue stuff. I guess I went through, but I'll keep it mostly short because it's not super amazing. I was posting my art on a server. I had a different incident where I shared some retard and drag try to flag my channel and report me, but my streams don't go down and all this other shit. And it's a different can of worms. And I tried sharing it with his server because some people were interested in what I was saying, but they told me, no, don't do that. And I was like, okay, fine. Fine, fair enough. It's his server. He doesn't want it. Fine. But then I get a message where he asks everyone saying, go fuck with Dylan Thomas or something. And if you watch the Snake Hogan video that he posted recently, where Rogue was Rogue was basically threatening this guy for copying his shitty Sona's redesign that I guess some other faggot on a server did, and Rogue got really mad and I guess threatened to dox him because he does that a lot. That's his go-to. You can see a screenshot in the video where it's the same message. I remember he asks everyone and tells them to go fuck with Dylan or whatever. And in one of the screenshots, you can see like my username typing out because I said, I'm not fucking doing that. That's fucking lame. So it's just, it's a really weird thing that's going on. But anyway, I was on a server. I wasn't
sorry to cut you off. I said from what I've seen about the Rogue and Dylan Thomas thing, it just seemed like that he was just a dick to this guy, or he didn't want to go on this guy's show or whatever, but didn't have the balls to tell him that, no, I just don't want to go on your show.
Big dick energy, not being able to say what you really think.
Yeah, and then just decided to send his fanboys to fuck with him for whatever reason.
it was also because Dylan wasn't letting him in on the money, but Rogue was like, "Oh, I don't need the money." It's like, what the fuck are you complaining about, bro? Come on, what's your point here? I want to be paid, but don't give me money.
Arnie Zanzibar is asking, what about that lame theme song Rogue had at the start of his show? Which theme song was that?
I only watched like one Rogue stream. It was whenever he was dunking on furries. That was like the only one who was fucking boring, and I left. He tries to be like Medicare, but he fucking sucks at it.
Yeah, even the stream. Medicare actually has content. Where this guy's just a pale imitator.
Yeah, because a lot of them want to be like Jim, but they all fucking fail at it. Mm-hmm. And I like Jim's stuff. You know, I guess he's the closest thing I have to an internet father, I guess, because I like his stuff and I've watched him for many, many years. But I don't want to be Jim. I don't think Jim wants people to be Jim neither. So, I mean, no. It's just weird people try to imitate him and they all fucking fall flat on their face. They get an ego. And then they implode.
They all do the smarmy radio voice and the cartoon character avatar, right?
Yeah, I kind of do the same thing a little bit, but I have more of a heart. I'm willing to give people more of a chance. I'm more forgiving than I should be. Maybe a little too nice for my own good, because I know it's weird. It's weird hearing someone like me say that, but I like to make jokes. I like to laugh at dumb shit. People laugh at the dumb shit I do. You know, fair is fair. All that shit. So, but yeah, I was on a server. I stuck around. I posted the art that I'm mostly known for a little bit. And they didn't like it very much. And this big argument thing happened on the server. And it went on for a while. I was involved in it. People were like dogpiling on me. I was like, I guess people were getting ignored. I was getting bored talking about it or whatever, because I don't like engaging with these fucking weird like internet arguments. Like they go on forever, and it's stupid. So I was like, all right, I'm done. And then Liz jumped in and started typing out like a paragraphs or something about how awful I was, and I just sent back cope and seethe, and she banned me from the spot. So I was on my server. I was talking about it, and Cammy, who I'll talk a little bit about later, she was telling me about how Rogue isn't really to be trusted. Mm-hmm. Like she was telling me she was a fan of Rogue too. She kissed the dick of Rogue because he's like her fucking internet father or whatever. And she was telling me she knew about how Rogue liked to go around and dox people. And at the time I didn't believe it, because I like to believe people don't really like doing that are in this, I guess, side of the sector, but I'm proven wrong. I'm glad I opened up and realized.
People love doing shit like that.
Oh yeah. I'm a little too nice sometimes. I know. I'm not super bright. I can admit that. It's okay. I'm not malicious or whatever. But she also told me about how he wasn't very nice to Astric or whatever. So I did my stream, or I was doing it, and I had a bit of a debate. I was like, okay, this guy, if I talk about this guy in like any capacity, I'm probably going to get a lot of shit for it. Because my whole thing is I just want to talk about Liz being retarded, which is something really funny to me. But I decided to go all in and just talk about Rogue. You know, like, to be fair, the stream isn't very good, to be honest. But I talked about just some of the weird shit. I talked about the Kiwi Farms doesn't really like him. And I mentioned about the whole thing I think I mentioned during the stream that he was like apparently into doxing people as well, which is proven. He does do that. It's been proven for quite a while.
And he may or may not have killed a dog.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Eating that glass hamburger.
Oh, yeah.
What a sick fuck. He probably did.
Yeah. I truly believe. I believe that he fucking did that.
It's definitely in his genetics, that's for sure, to be a fucking...
And just to say this on record, because I mentioned Cammy, I bet you Cammy fucking knew about that shit too. Mm-hmm. I bet you she knew, and she's still a fan of this guy. I'm pretty sure.
A lot of people apparently knew and didn't speak up until Rogue DFE'd.
Pussies. I just want to say that That's fucking limp dick energy. You should be more. You guys should just be more like your internet daddy and have rock a 3mm. It's not a 9mm or a 45. Nah, it's a fucking 3mm. I'd even say that Rogue has a bigger dick than most of the people who follow him, and that's really fucking sad. But anyway, I did my stream. I talked about the shit, and then Rogue made his response stream, and I never saw the response stream neither because I genuinely don't give a shit about this guy. He's fucking boring, and I get a lot of shit for it. Like people, like a bunch of retards start dogpiling me, all that shit, and Rogue, and we kind of went at it. I threw out the offer to talk to him, like, hey, let's fucking do it. Why not? And he told me, no, you deserve to be bullied, and you don't deserve any capacity to be to be talked to, and all this shit. It's kind of funny, bro. I don't have a kill count. I should probably step my game up. Maybe I should take a piece out of maybe Rogue could do this, like whenever he gets, I guess he fucks up and he can't come back to YouTube at all. Maybe he can open up his own burger joint, rival Mr. Beast. I think he could do that. I think that'd be a good strategy to have. YouTube don't work out. Those burgers will be to die for. Especially mean dogs.
Yeah, what should Rogue do if YouTube doesn't work out? I guess he had a job at his father's auto mechanic shop. Maybe
yeah.
You get a job at Mr. Lube or something. I don't know.
Be an Uber driver. Probably. I mean, he likes to drive drunk in his truck, so I don't think that's a good strategy neither. But yeah, I don't see any like future jobs being very open to this guy, to be honest. He doesn't really have any real world experience. For someone who lives in a shed, I'm not really surprised.
Arnie says, while Rogue was working his dream job, a used car salesman, when he wasn't in the dealership toilet, wiping his brown on the wall.
Hey, listen, I don't know if you're not aware of this, but that is how you clock in at his dad's auto shop. You had to wipe your shitty finger on the wall and write your time and shit.
Did you see all the customer reviews of that auto shop? There's people there talking about being physically intimidated by the guy's sons, and I assume one of them was Rogue.
I don't know. I find that hard to believe that Rogue would be intimidating in any way.
Well, he tries to intimidate people. Like the customer service, he didn't say he was intimidated. He said tried to intimidate me. So there you go.
Yeah. Just make you wish you went to Pep Boys or some other shitty place to get your auto repair. At least you don't get some fucking fat dude with a shitty groomer Discord beard who lives in a shed trying to intimidate you.
Right? Oh, what a great family. One guy's a weird fucking incel collector, furry whisperer, and the other is a fucking baby killer, and then the father has some shady chop shop.
He has a chop shop. He gets drunk and abuses his kids and his wife, supposedly. Yeah. Along the lines, like on a bit of a serious note about Rogue's past and some of this stuff. In normal situations, I wouldn't laugh about him being abused. I don't think anybody really would if he was a nice person, but he's not. So I don't really feel pity for him or anything. I'm not advocating child abuse, obviously, but when you're such a piece of shit to everybody around you, it's just like you just can't feel bad for him. So I mean, and a lot of like Shiny mentioned this as well, that he has the capacity to be a danger to people, but when you start looking at like all the ticks for different serial killers and all the boxes they tick, he ticks a lot of them. A lot of them come from like broken homes. A lot of them are, I guess, in the closet. And I think Rogue might be bisexual. Maybe he might be gay or proto-gay. That might be a bit of a stretch, but seeing the Nut Cavern, because I saw Nut Cavern as well, and it was pretty fucking bad. From the short 2 months I was there, I couldn't really, even by my standards, which is already kind of weird, it was a little too much for me, to be honest.
I have no idea what you're into, but actually, What weird shit are you into?
What weird shit?
Yeah.
I like a lot of different things, to be honest. I haven't told people much, but the main thing, like I thought you would know already because you were on my Instagram, but no, I get ready for this. I draw wedgies.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing you say that on a stream that you draw wedgies. Yeah.
That's
Are you
that's my
like turned on by wedgies, or you just draw it because you think it's funny?
both.
Oh,
Maybe.
you turned on by wedgies.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know. I don't know what to say about that.
How do you? I don't know. It's weird. It's weird if I. It's weird. It's weird if I just imagine like this weird fucking fantasy. I walk into like an NSFW convention, and everybody's talking about the weird shit they draw, and I just come in there with my fucking with my pimp get up, like just the standard pimp and cane. I just walk in, just strut my shit, and was like, "What do you draw?" I tell them what I do, and everybody just fucking bows down.
Well, yeah, that's still not as weird as Rogue getting people to draw tranny versions of himself, of his cartoon persona, or
I have to be honest. I actually do have a tranny version of my mascot I made as a joke. It's just a douche in a sack, and they still give it lipstick and fucking shit, all that weird shit.
I guess technically your cartoon character is kind of a tranny. Yeah, I did notice the big pink lips there.
Well, it's part of the art that I used for that stream because I made Fembag as a joke, essentially. But yeah, it's
Arnie Zanzibar has a question for you. He says, while you're at Rogues, did Asterix make herself available to you?
No, sorry. I wasn't really interested in the diapers, to be honest. I don't want her to sit on my face with a diaper full of shit. So no, I had to take her off. I couldn't take her up on that offer. Neither would I want her goat milk. I'm sure it's probably rancid.
Right. Asterix at the petting zoo.
Yeah. All muzzled up. Rogues standing in front of her. It's like a little petting zoo. Just slap her ass or something. And he has to go behind the scenes and laugh because he doesn't actually like Asterix at all.
I don't think he actually likes anybody. He just seems to be a completely misanthropic, antisocial fucking loser.
Yeah.
That's right. Poop and pee, 1, 2, 3.
And that ties in with what I was saying earlier about on the more serious note, getting back to that, because we get sidetracked so often. Yeah, he ticks a lot of the boxes for serial killers. A lot of them come from broken homes with abusive family members that get drunk. They live in the closet, and I guess they're too afraid to come out about their sexuality. And the other thing is that they actively hurt animals. And, you have the dog story where I don't know how old he was when he did it or whatever. And it's a really fucked up story that why he'd do it. Did anyone ever say why he did it?
There's 2 dog killing stories I heard. I heard about the glass hamburger story, and I heard that he apparently stuck a firecracker up a dog's ass and lit the fuse and blew it up. Yeah, that's another story I heard.
What? Okay. I wasn't expecting that fucking story.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, questions, because I just heard about the second story. How was the dog a puppy? Please don't say puppy. Please don't.
I don't know how old the dog was, or I don't even think I'm telling the story right. It was something involving a dog and a firecracker. I think I'm the sticking it up its ass part. I think I'm fucking that part up. It was something involving a dog and a bottle rocket or a firecracker. Something.
Please, as long as you please don't
kind of explosive device that killed a dog. That's what I heard about.
I imagine if it's like one of those normal firecrackers, unless it was a puppy, which is what bothers me. Now I'm thinking that he used like an M80 or something. That fucking kills my nerd.
I think that the fact that he even if he was making up this story that he fed a dog a glass hamburger, the fact that you would make up a story like that,
yeah,
it just tells me you're a sick fuck.
I mean, it also ties in with what Lulupi said about how he fucking he used to be a fan of like the monkey torture videos too.
Yeah, I heard about that as well. Shit, that's right. I did it just for you, Cooter.
Oh, I hate my
Free the myth.
life.
I think now's the time for you to get into your Cammy story.
Oh yeah. Okay. So I did my stream. Cammy was someone on my my Discord server.
Mhm.
And they were a friend of mine. We've been friends, I guess, for a few years or whatever. And we met up again on Discord. We were a bit on and off because she was friends with this other sociopath. I can't really get into the details of that because that's a different story. But we ended up meeting on Discord for the first time we started actually talking. And she was a mod on my server because, you know, she was around from like the old days, from like 10 years ago. Like our history kind of stretches back all the way to, I think, 2011, I'm pretty sure. And it ended this year because I talked about Rogue negatively. And she's a Rogue guard. She's a Rogue bro. She loves Rogue because one thing you need to know about Cammy is that Cammy absolutely loves to talk about Chris Chan. And Rogue naturally tickles her itch for that. I can't remember one Discord call we did not have, and Eva can back me up on this, where she would not turn the conversation onto Chris Chan at least once. I'm not exaggerating. It's every single call we had to devolve and talk about Chris lore. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, I'd run out of patience soon. I'd be like, who gives a shit about this guy? Like, before the whole Chris Chan fucking his mother thing came out, like Chris Chan was old news. Like Rogue was doing like covering Chris Chan shit from like 10 years ago, right?
Oh yeah.
And then when Chris Chan got arrested for raping his mother, his mentally ill mother, I was like, oh shit! Now Rogue's content's actually going to be fucking relevant now, right? Because just something new happened with Chris Chan, and he's going to be all over it. And,
but
enough he was.
It's a double-edged sword because that means the Chris Chan would either go to jail or prison, and a lot of people got very upset. I think it was something that happened with Dylan, and I think he broke down on a stream. I don't know exactly, but he broke down on a stream that Chris Chan was going to jail and probably going to prison. And he'd have to get a real job, which I find really funny.
And Eve Flutterlover says, yeah, she did this almost every call.
Yep. And Mr. Amazing down there, he can verify it as well. Yeah, he's another one too.
Says, I can confirm she would never shut the fuck up about it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was, and Eva mentions that the newest chat. Yeah, that was the other thing she did. She used to trauma dump about how some people on DeviantArt or whatever, they criticized her, and she would trauma dump about how awful they were to her or whatever.
How old is this person?
Eva?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Eva's a friend of mine.
No, the Cammy.
Cammy? The other person, well, the other person that she would fucking vent about was this black dude named Mama Yentown, and he had a bunch of journals on DeviantArt calling out Cammy, essentially, because Cammy is like a really shitty person, just a bitch in sheep's clothing or whatever. But I didn't pay a whole lot of mind to it because it was like old shit. I imagine that it doesn't really matter because I'm not really one to hold on to like old shit that happens from like 3 or 4 years ago. Currently 25, 26. I think she's going to be 26 next month. So she's older than I am. She acts like a 14, 15-year-old kid, essentially. She's one of those, like we mentioned at the start of the stream.
Which essentially is the Rogue fan base, a bunch of fucking 20 to 30-year-olds who act like they're fucking 12 that hang around 12-year-olds.
Yeah. It all comes full circle.
Yeah.
Already that bitter. Yikes. Yeah.
Is that young and already that bitter? Yikes.
Mama Yentown, any relation to Mama Goonie? No, unfortunately. Sorry. But she would trauma dump, and she'd say all this shit about how all these people like treated her really bad. But around the time, I mean, she was on my server. She was a mod, and she was a friend of mine. And I did like artwork for her. I did like emojis and shit. All this stuff for absolutely nothing, other than because, well, I liked her. That was it. I like being around people who can fucking tolerate me. I'm just happy people talk to me. You know, it's not because I'm lonely or anything. It's just, I don't know, self-doubt, I suppose. Maybe a bit of anxiety. I don't know. It's been better nowadays, but whatever.
Nacho Cooter says, Jesus, y'all are all babies.
Wah. I'm not wearing a diaper. Sorry.
No, you're just wearing a douche or a bag.
Yeah, I'm wearing a sack. Totally different, bro.
Cammy took my trust. She knew I was easily vulnerable. I never felt so angry after I escaped her server.
Yeah. So
her. She does sound like a piece of work.
Oh yeah. Oh, trust me, she is. She was bad enough to the point where I had to take away from talking about Rogue or anything, and I just had to focus on what she was doing. So some shit happens. She gets mad at me. She's very big mad that I talked about her internet daddy, even though she's openly telling me like, yeah, he likes to dox people, likes to do all this shit or whatever. And she didn't like me. She didn't like me anymore. All that shit. And so something else happens on the server, and this is actually for my server, and this is a really big deal. And this is like, it's hard to explain the Cammy store without opening all the other cans of worms. But to keep it short, I met this dude on Discord in 2020, and he had a bit of a history, I found out. And instead of fucking with him like I would have done, I tried to actually help him. Because it was at a really weird, depressive point in my life, like my actual personal life, and it affected me. But instead of fucking with this guy, like, you know, I'm used to doing from my shitty, fucking worthless legacy, my little empire of dirt, I decided to help this guy. And I thought he was making improvements. He wasn't. He was lying to me about shit, and I cut it off with him. But then he started lying about me. And I had to go to the people who started like fucking with him from the past. They came in and talked to me because I had no one else to really lay the foundational work for. And so one of them had these allegations, and his name is Ruben Gussman. I don't know if you've heard of this guy. He's pretty underground.
No, never.
Well, now you know.
I haven't heard of most of these people.
Yeah, that's true. All these people are new to you.
Yeah, just as I'm sure somebody name dropped Mama Goonie and her, and I doubt you've heard of her, right?
Nope, never heard of him. Sorry.
So, I hope you all aren't wearing diapers. I didn't mean those kinds of babies. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that's just Rogue's people who wears the diapers there.
Yeah.
Helping retards never worked out in return. No.
That's kind of true, but I don't think every person who's like a little bit aspergic deserves to be just shit on nonstop. I think some people really just need help. And yeah, it doesn't always work, but I went in on this one and it didn't really work out too well, at least at the time. But me and him, we managed to patch things up and sort of go straight a little bit because he was really fucking things up. I had to interview a whole bunch of different people from all these people had like interactions with him and the shady shit that guy was doing. But he came around because another friend of mine, he convinced him to talk to me. We talked it out. We got some things sorted. And the whole thing is that I just wanted him to improve a little bit. Like, I don't want to take control of his life. I don't want to be a control freak and dominate his existence or anything. I just want him to stop airing out his dirty laundry on Discord to where people can fuck with him and just be a little bit more stable, you know, like all that stuff. And so far from what I've seen, he's actually been making extremely good improvements. He's still flawed. I'm not going to ignore that, but he's definitely been a lot better. So I'd say most of my work is so far paid off. And the whole thing was that his grudge holding, because the person he held a grudge with, they had allegations that they were a pedophile or something. And I thought he was just like coping and seething, because I know people who do that. They'll make up stories about how somebody they don't like died, but they're not actually dead. Just so, I guess it gives them a peace of mind. It's a cope. But that wasn't the case. And when the whole rogue thing was going on, one of them, whose name is Ruben Gussman, we found out that his allegations were true. And I never looked into his allegations. And one of his friends posted a link to his DeviantArt journal that exposed him or whatever. And I didn't read it, which was really foolish of me not to look into this more seriously. But again, I thought the guy who was saying it was just lying. So I didn't really know what to believe. And even people on my server, they didn't really know what was true and what wasn't. So it was just like this really ambiguous situation. But no, it turns out
an actual pedophile or something.
Yes, he actually sent his dick pic to. He's been on DeviantArt for like a very long time, and he tries to use it as his dating ground to try to get women or girls. And he sent his dick to like a 14-year-old kid around 2018, 2019, I think. So it's a really fucked situation. And so
did anybody ever report him? I'd be reporting his ass to the FBI.
I think some people are trying to, but I don't know how well that's going. And what the fuck? Oh, sorry, it's my cat being crazy. Sorry, my pussy's acting up on stream. I hope that's okay.
Oh no. You better not say the C word there. We know how excited Rogue fans get when it comes to animals.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a cat, but it's not a dog.
They might be drawing sexualized versions of your cat there.
They're gonna pound my pussy. Oh, I want that. But anyway, so this guy gets outed, and her, along with Tribat, who I've not talked about much, because again, I'm focusing more on Cammy because, well, Cammy's a rogue guard. It fits in with the stream itself. She tries to do this guilt by association thing, and at the time I was very upset. Naturally, like, I have my trust in these people and they're trying to out me for shit, and I felt just completely fucking betrayed. This is like the first time I ever truly felt just defeated, like I truly failed or something. But for a while I took a breather for about 3 weeks, and I realized I wouldn't, even though Cammy knew that I would never defend allegations like this. I wouldn't. She knew, but she wasn't going to say that because she hated me. Because even though just me not looking into Ruben was part of it, the real reason why she did all this, and this is why I'm talking about her on the stream, is because it was because I talked about Rogue, her internet father. That's why.
So yeah, you talked about Rogue, and she tried to retaliate by, oh, well, here was this other incident where blah, 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 and tried to imply that you were protecting the other guy, or
yes, what? Both her and Tribat, which his name's Dean, by the way. I'm not doxing him. He has his name out there. I call him Dean instead of Tribat because I think his name is fucking stupid. But anyway,
is it Alex Triback or
Tribat? That's his.
Tribat.
Yeah, Tribat.
Sounds more like Try Hard. Boom, boom.
Or Tribat. That's what we call him. I also call him Rape Bat, but that's a different story. We'll get to that later.
Oh no.
It's
a rapist, another pedophile. What?
Don't worry. We'll get there soon enough.
Shit.
So anyway, fucking Cammy started doing this shit. I try to apologize, and of course it goes nowhere, because these are the type of people you can't apologize to. People like Cammy and Dean, they will never accept it. And Cammy had to get this 15-year-old kid, the same 15-year-old kid, by the way, that she decided to tell the Mr. Hands story towards, as you do. And it wasn't just him. It was like other 15, 14-year-old kids, all that shit. So that's nice. So I got over it. My whole thing is like, look, I made a mistake. I wouldn't have defended this guy. I know I wouldn't. There's not a clip of me saying, he's innocent. I'm pretty sure there isn't. If not, then oops, because I didn't look into that story. I really didn't. But he gets outed, and I was away, and I decided, like, I have to talk about this. Like, I was going to do a stream where I was going to talk about the Ruben Gussman, the pedophile guy. And I was expecting my stream to get stream sniped by Rogue, and it would have been a positive to me because I don't care about my internet reputation or whatever. I don't care about that shit. Like, this guy's doing some shit and he's able to get away with it. And I want more people to know about it. And I would take a verbal shit kicking in like a chat on the internet where it's not super crazy for me, just so this guy who's an actual predator gets outed. Almost like a sacrifice sort of thing, I suppose. But that didn't happen because around the time I tried doing that stream, Rogue had vanished and I didn't even know. So I was curious, like, I was expecting to be stream sniped. There's nobody here, so.
Arnie Zanzibar asks, did Alex bat himself off with Rogue behind the scenes?
Alex? Who's Alex?
I don't know. Do they? I wonder if they mean an Alex we know, who's no longer on YouTube though.
I don't think he means Asterisk because I've seen him post about their name. So I don't know. Maybe it's like a autocorrect or something. I have no idea.
Could be passion of the bag.
Yeah. But I tried to apologize. It goes on deaf ears, and eventually I'm just like, okay, I give up. Fuck you guys. Just move on with my time. I started streaming. I talked about Rogue. I sort of mentioned the drama side of shit that's going on with Cammy and Dean and Nora, which is the 15-year-old kid, by the way, a little bit. And Tribat or Dean, he flips out in my my chat and is hitting me. He's stream sniping it. He's hitting me with "talk to me, coward, talk to me, coward, talk to me, coward," all this shit. Because I'm kind of making fun of him a little bit. Because he knows that he's not really telling the truth about me neither. He's doing it. Same thing with Cammy. They're doing it to fucking punish me for talking about this guy who murders dogs and doxes people. All that shit.
Yeah, RDA has a great comment here, and this is absolutely true. Rogue spent 8 months moving after Shangi and I were mean to him. That's probably when he went missing. His last stream before he went away was titled RDA and Shangi.
Oh. It's...
Yeah, like I said, this Rogue guy had no idea who he was messing with. Like, he thought he could clap at us because, like, these guys are a smaller channel than me and blah, blah, blah. But we just started clowning the shit out of him, and he couldn't take it. Like, he made streams about me that I didn't really respond to, and I did make a response. I'm like, okay, yeah, I agree with this criticism of me and blah, blah, blah. And the things I don't agree with, I'm not going to gripe about because I don't think it's worth it. But when he started dogpiling on Coach Eli, that's when I started doing these videos, calling him out and saying, like, you're a fucking bitch picking on this fucking guy and trying to impress your little furry buddies there. Because you're too much of a pussy to go at me and like him. So you start picking on this Coach Eli guy. Yeah. And that's what, and that's when he started calling me a pedophile and all this shit he was calling me. And then to the point where I started going at him, and then he started getting really butthurt when like Cosmic Cam and Ian Ellis and RDA were talking about him and laughing at him. Yeah. And then he says, well, I'm moving. And then he started trying to ignore all of us, which is fine.
He rage quit. He rage quit the drama that he basically started.
He rage quit the drama that he picked a fight with us and then fucking ran away.
Yeah, and before I respond to what Eva said, a lot of this happened. A lot of this happened like right after I did my stream, where I basically said that people will get fed up with your shit and they'll fuck with you. Like your friends will stab you in the back, and look how well that went. Here's Wendigo coming out. I guess she's mostly discredited right now because she ran away. But
yeah, she should have just went on my show and told her story. But
yeah, because I think I remember that because I was checking the farms whenever he disappeared, and they said that she was supposed to show up on your show, and I was like, wait, because I went back to watch. I was like, wait, didn't Shangi like do a fucking show with Wendigo or something? Where is it? Like, never happened.
Never happened. No.
She got dogpiled to hell and back. And
I think she was scared off by the threats on Kiwi farms.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, Rogue did do the ultimate manipulation thing by basically saying, she's like a furry and she wants to fuck dogs, and she wanted to put money towards a dog she wasn't going to take care of, which is funny. I don't think I've ever heard a story about Wendigo feeding glass to a dog to kill it, or sticking an M80 up a pupper's ass. Something straight out like the Zoo Sadist leaks. Anyway.
Well, and the stuff that he was getting involved in and calling her out for, this was over a fucking furry suit. This was shit that was none of his business in the first. He getting involved in it.
Yeah.
Eva Flutter Lover says, and remember, Tribat was the same man who accused Bag of manipulating me, since Tribat knew I actually was taken advantage of and tried to use it as a weapon against Bag.
Yeah, I'll let you read the rest of the stuff she types. She's got another one after this one, too.
Yeah. And just waiting for it to get on the screen here. They've done a lot of stuff for Bag without him demanding me to draw anything for him, and he's done stuff for me. Says, Bag has given me stuff, which, granted, I ended up asking him to remove some of it due to some personal issues and such. But yeah, Bag has stuff for me, but apparently he's grooming me.
Yeah. So on Discord, around the heat of when this stuff started really going off, Eva said that she had feelings for me, which is really nice to hear. It was very heartwarming. And Dean and Cammy, and I guess Nora to a degree, they took it and said that I was grooming her into being my wife or whatever. So that's nice. That's nice to have thrown at you.
There's nice only like a 2-year age difference between the two, and
yes,
and making it out as if you're grooming some kid.
Yes, and Cammy tried saying that because she tried. This is how fucking hilarious it is with Cammy. Cammy said that I was like, I'm a pedophile somehow for, I guess being friends with someone who's like 2 years younger than I am, and just being friends, and they say that they have feelings for me or whatever. I'm a pedophile. But then later on, it takes another interesting turn later. We'll get to that part. Fucking, I confront her about this in a call. Like, why the fuck are you saying this? You know, this is stupid. And the first thing she does is that she throws the 15-year-old kid, who I guess said it as well, under the bus. And she's 26. She's 11 years older. 11 years his senior, and she throws this 15-year-old kid out to save her own ass because she does not like confrontation.
Wow. Says actually that happened when Bag found out about her NSFW edits. Not safe.
Oh yeah. We'll kind of get to that here in a minute, because don't worry, we'll get there. So, okay, this goes on. I do my stream. Dean's spurging out. We get into a call. We had a call a month beforehand, and it was a dogpiling session from Dean, Nora, and Cammy, because that's how they do it. It's kangaroo court that I'm guilty, and I broke down. I'm not gonna lie. I broke down. I was very upset. I felt completely fucking betrayed. All that shit. And this is, I don't want to, like, if I say it, it sounds manipulative, but I do all this nice shit for people, and this is how they return it back. They basically try to fuck me over. I get not one, but 2 knives in my back. That's nice to have. always nice to have when your friends who you treat nice, you treat them the way you want to be treated. And I get 2 knives in my fucking back. That's great. So anyway, hey, Kex.
Do you know this person?
Oh yeah, this is the guy who I wanted to help. This is the guy who I wanted to help out.
Mm-hmm.
He's made decent improvements. I mean, to be fair, he could still drive me and other people away if he fucks up, but you know, he's made good improvements, so I'm happy for him. And he's been a better friend than all these other people, so that's great. What's kangaroo court? Kangaroo court is where you're instantly guilty and everybody dogpiles on you.
Yeah, and the trial is just a formality.
Yes, that's what kangaroo court is. So that's what went down before. And I hopped into this call, hopped into it, and Dean Spurg's out, but I had him muted. Not because I'm a pussy or anything. I forgot I had him muted whenever I broke down. I gave a bit of a speech when I was very upset. So we try to get things sorted out. I guess we're all on like even footing. One of my friends, Ferret, lesbian Ferret, she was a bit on mixed field a little bit, and they basically tried to turn like all my friends against me to fuck me over again as punishment for talking about Rogue. It was never about Ruben. It was always about Rogue. That's what it was. But we came back as friends, I guess, on shaky ground. And I try to bring peace between the people on my server and the issues they had. And they basically tried to fuck me over again on that. They caused me to be upset again. And like, I'm taking these allegations seriously. One of them has this weird thing that they did. And I don't want to go into too much detail because it's very easy to lose focus because of all the, again, can of worms they had to go through. But I essentially cut everyone off. Most people on that point, like Cammy, Dean, I cut off Ferret for a while because they gaslit Ferret into, that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to turn everybody against me, and they gaslit Ferret or whatever, which really sucked. And I liked Ferret. She's actually pretty cool. So that goes down. I find out about how Dean liked to say that my server is full like groomers and pedophiles, just throwing everyone under the bus, trying to just say every one of my servers a groomer pedophile. And then someone on his server who he invited to mine ends up having like this sexual conversation with Nora, who's 15. So it blew up in his dumb fucking face. So that was funny to laugh at. He got really mad about it. And eventually I got in contact with the Mama Yentown, who's one of the people who wrote the journals, the exposés on Cammy on DeviantArt like years back. And a few other people who were involved.
Exposés on this chick?
Yes. Yeah, they're out there. If I had the links, I'd send them to you, but I don't have them with me right now. Mm-hmm. But they're not super great. The basic thing to take away from the journals is that Cammy started beef with this black guy because of pronouns. Even though Cammy blew it out of proportion, Cammy likes to pretend that she's the fucking victim. And so there was another person that Cammy was friends with, I guess, who was like 16 or 17. And they had this weird relationship with this guy. And they found out like it's like a polyamorous relationship. So, you know, it's already a good one to be in one of those.
Yeah.
There were multiple people involved. And the kid found out that the guy was like 25, I think. He was an adult. And this kid who's autistic and they're apparently trans, Cammy, instead of Cammy like taking the initiative and being this mama bear, because she likes to call herself that she likes to protect her cubs and shit. And the kid's autistic, like he's going through grief and he hits denial. He thinks that things can be better with the relationship, even though you know that it's not going to last. Because relationships like that, they never last. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that goes down, and Cammy basically outs the kid and makes fun of him and shit, like a real mom would. I remember whenever I had suicidal thoughts, and my mom told me to put the gun in my mouth, basically, and shit, and make fun of me for call me a faggot and take your lumps or whatever. So that's nice. That's what moms do.
Wow.
Yeah, she did this shit. Just completely fucking destroyed this kid who's going through grief. And I don't agree with the relationship neither, but it's an relationship. There's no touching or whatever, you know? None of that shit. So it would die off anyway, but it's a really fucking weird situation. And it's a theory that's popped in our heads recently that Cammy actually groomed this kid into being trans in the first place. But again,
Right.
I can't really go into all these other details because again, it's a huge fucking can of worms. The only way I could really do it is unless I put it all in the video and get it all in chronological order so it makes sense. Because if I'm talking about it off the cuff, it's really hard to follow. I understand, especially when you have no idea who any of these fucking people are. But anyway, that goes down. I start talking to him. I start talking to some other people. Someone who was also who's also like, I guess, an boyfriend of Cammy's. And he shared with me after we did our audio interview. It's not posted on YouTube yet. He decided to share some of the pictures that Cammy and her current on and off again boyfriend named Johnny, they traced over a whole bunch of different art, and some of it was cub porn of like Sonic characters.
Right, it sounds like a typical Rogue fan.
Yeah, typical one. Usual. He's got some really good minions in his army, doesn't he?
Yeah, we're at the 2-hour mark, so we got to wrap this up real soon. Is there any final thoughts that you want to get off your chest before we end the show here?
Well, I can get this one out of the way real quick and give people a taste of what exactly happened. So I found out about these trace pictures. I confront all these other. I confront Nora. I confront Tribat, who I didn't really get to his stuff. I'll get this out of the way. Tribat has rape allegations. And if the way that he treated Ferret behind the scenes really speaks volumes, you know, I just want to throw that out there. So Cammy gets outed, all this other shit. And I find out people are still mixed about Cammy for some reason. Like they're still like hanging on their sides. They're doing the same thing that I kind of did whenever I didn't look into Ruben Gussman's allegations and shit. So that stuff happens. And then I found Cammy's Ink Bunny, and I showed it to my Discord server. I have that video on my YouTube channel. I shared it with you earlier, and I also shared the some of the trace pictures. I had to censor them off for YouTube because, you know, when we went through her Ink Bunny, I did it from my Discord live, and we all reacted to it. And yeah, she's got all kinds of like cub porn favorites. She even follows a guy who I don't know why she does, but she follows a fucking. She follows this guy who draws like diaper cub shit, like scat for some reason, just other like degenerate shit, just really fucking awful stuff. So I took this to Nora. He kind of danced around it, but I told him, okay, I'm going to go forward with this at this date. And this is how much time you have to look into it. He looks into it and he's fucking livid. The 15-year-old, he feels completely betrayed, and Cammy gets outed. And there you go. Now she changes her name like she usually does because she's got like 60, 70 different names that she goes by. And she loses her boyfriend, hopefully for the last time because they're on and off. She tries to call him a pedophile for liking Betty Boop or whatever. So
Betty
there
Boop.
you go.
So you're a pedophile now if you like a cartoon character from the 1930s?
I guess because the original age for Betty Boop is like 16, and people still get really fucking ass hurt about liking a character that was originally 16, even though they aged her up to like 21. So it's all fucking weird. And she's still, and remember, this is the same person who ran around calling me a pedophile for someone who's just 2 years younger than I am. Again, I'm 25. She's Eva's 23. That I'm a pedophile. So And this bitch has got cub porn favorites, and she probably groomed somebody into being a tranny, essentially. And there you go. And she likes to say that she was like fucking groomed into thinking this is okay. No, she wasn't. She watched people like me because she was a fan of mine, I guess. She watched Blackbuster Critic, all these other people who called out people for pedophilia, and there you go.
Yeah, so, Cooter has a point, says back then being 16 was like being 30 today. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, like, Betty Boop, but I think Betty Boop was supposed to be like 16 years old. Her character was still living with her parents. And she was like the first cartoon sex symbol.
Oh yeah.
And now that you bring it up, it is kind of
it is a little weird, but
that a 16-year-old cartoon character was conceived as a sex symbol.
Yeah, that's true. But as time went on,
doesn't make you a pedophile for liking Betty Boop. It's a cartoon character.
Yeah, and they also like aged her up as time went on to like 21. So just because she was like originally that age doesn't mean she's still that way now.
Yeah, she's grown up now. People, calm down.
So anyway, that's pretty much most of my story. Like just to put this out here on record, I'm not doing my whole talk or the supercuts to destroy Rogue's life. I don't fucking like the guy. The most, at the very least, I want him to come forward with these allegations and apologize. At the very least, I like to believe in redemption from me wanting to help Kex, the guy in the chat. I like to believe that people can be better, and I would want him to be like just like everybody else, because I think redemption and forgiveness is possible, but in a way, I don't see him as being capable of doing it. I think he might be too far gone, but I hold on to hope. I'm young enough to still be optimistic, but I'm also old enough to still think that he might be a lost cause. So there you go. And I also wanted to get this out of the way. Like, this is what happens whenever you kind of talk about people you're not allowed to speak about, the big boys. You're not allowed to criticize them, or else people will try to stab you in the back. So that's nice. There you go. That's basically my story. And just for the record, like I've already told Shangi this. He already knows. Like we aren't friends or anything. We're just two guys with a neutral interest. I'm pretty sure. But I had a fun time on stream, and thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Thanks for coming up, Bag, and telling your story. And like I said, I appreciate the super cut, and all I'd like to put out there that, like, I'm not really, after Rogue. I mean, we did this stream today, but that's because Bag here, he did a super cut of one of my streams, so I just wanted to talk to him and pick his brain a little.
That's a little hard to do. There's not much here.
Right? Yeah, he's just a bag. It's full of air. Like,
just a weirdo.
So like, shit like this. Okay. Yeah. Like, I was pretty much done talking about Rogue anyways, but okay, we're done talking about you. You can stop crying now, Rogue.
Yeah. Like once I post my cut of the super cut with my audio, I don't really plan on doing anything else unless he comes after me or some shit and he tries to teach me a lesson or some shit. So, my opinions are I think he could better himself. I hope he does, but I kind of doubt he will.
Rogue, keep your nose clean, Rogue, or we'll teach you a fucking lesson.
Yeah. We're gonna give you a swirly, boy. You're gonna be shoved in a locker. You're gonna wish you were never born. Yeah. But,
all right. Thanks everybody for tuning into the Mad Shangi Show tonight. I think RDA is having a stream tonight, so I hope he's still going live, and I'm gonna check that out.
Oh yeah.
And, thank you, Bang.
But if you don't mind closing out before you close out the stream completely, I have my own channel where I'll cover some of the Cammy stuff. If you want to listen to that or watch it, it's there for me. I'm sure Shangi will put the link in the description or pin it in a comment. If not, then that's fine. It's not going to hurt my feelings because, again, this is only a sample of the total rabbit hole that I've sort of dealt with. And if that interests you, then you can find me. If not, then it's whatever. But anyway, thank you, Shangy.
Actually, post the link in the private chat there, and I'll post it in the.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, get your channel link so we can.
Oh yeah.
So we can plug it there.
I
forgot to do that, or is it in the description?
Don't think it is. I think it might be for the supercut, but I don't think it is for the stream neither.
Oh yeah, see,
in case
I'm not as organized as I'd like to be. All right, let's.
Oh, it's okay. Don't worry about it.
Right.
This stream was not. This stream was just a freestyle thing for like a little over 2 hours, and you know what? That's fine. I like it that way. It's more relaxed. It's not as strict.
We're laid back here.
It's definitely better than Kangaroo Court. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely is. So check out there. We put the link in the chat there. Go check it out. It's TheBagoDouche, and I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Everybody go tune in to Ross's stream tonight, and have a good night and happy Halloween.
Take care, guys.
All right. Bye now.
See ya.